What's in Your Ear? Welcome to What's in Your Ear, the show that's about what we hear, what we listen to, what sticks with us, and what we try and get out of our head. Today we're going to talk about King Crimson. I'm not talking about Robert Fripp's original late 60s prog rock King Crimson. I'm talking about the 1980s post-punk, hard-driving, rhythmic King Crimson. That's the King Crimson that's been in my ear. In 1981, King Crimson's founder, guitar player Robert Fripp, teamed up with guitarist Adrian Belew, bass player Tony Levin, and drummer Bill Bruford to record the album Discipline. That album, with its driving rhythm, relentless counterpoint, and unusual sonic texture, sent the rock world on its ear.
Well, first of all, I couldn't even see his face. I couldn't see his face. He was holding a gun against me.
It wasn't the first time that Robert Fripp set the music world on fire. In 1969, he released In the Court of the Crimson King, featuring the song 21st Century Schizoid Man. But that's a different story. No, this is the story of how four guys turned the 70s into the 80s. The Crimson pedigree was truly remarkable. Their discographies read like a who's who of intellectual art rock. Fripp had already recorded with many rock luminaries, including Brian Eno, Peter Gabriel, Daryl Hall, and David Bowie. Adrian Belew had been playing with the likes of Frank Zappa, Bowie, and Talking Heads before he teamed up with Fripp and Crimson. Here's an excerpt from Talking Heads. The song is called The Great Curve. Belew's work on Talking Heads' classic album, Remain in Light, made a mark on me. Likewise, his work on Bowie's larger album added thoughtful dissonance that surprised and moved us all. And who doesn't remember Fripp's distinctive guitar part on Fashion from David Bowie's Scary Monsters album? All of the King Crimson members were truly virtuosic. Who else could make music this complex sound so simple? They drove the rhythm hard enough to feel visceral, even though the music was difficult and cerebral. They were not afraid to use odd and unusual time signatures. The result was compelling, yet disconcerting. Perhaps like watching a gang of marauding mathematicians hopped up on meth and differential calculus. One of the more unusual elements of the King Crimson sound was the use of the Chapman stick. Tony Levin used the 10-string instrument to play many of the bass parts and counter melodies. Levin would often play two parts simultaneously. It's a little like playing two pianos at the same time, except that one was right side up and the other was upside down. The idea that Levin could play this instrument while keeping track of a 15/8 time signature is probably enough to make more than one musician want to hang it up altogether.
Talk, it's only talk. Arguments, agreements, advice, answers, articulate announcements. It's only talk.
Did I mention that percussionist Bill Bruford was a founding member of Yes? And that he played with Phil Collins and Genesis? Bruford's sound was unusual for the period in that he relied less on cymbals and more on a broad palette of acoustic and electronic drums. He painted vivid colors from an assortment of drums, snares, toms, rototoms, octobans, timbales, Simmons drums, and tuned percussion. And yeah, there were cymbals and gongs. After the 1981 Discipline album, the quartet recorded 2 more records, Beat in 1982 and 3 of a Perfect Pair in 1984. While Discipline stands out most in my mind, the other 2 are well worth owning. So go ahead and dust off your credit card. Okay. So even if you don't buy any King Crimson records, please go out and support the musicians that make you feel as good as King Crimson makes me feel. So that's what's been in my ear. What's in your ear today? Let us know. Thanks for listening. Until next time, I'm Jonathan Duckett, and this has been What's in Your Ear, the show that's about what we hear, what we listen to, what sticks with us, and what we try and get out of our head.